Hey, Princess India here. I just wanted to share a quick little bit of inspo with you. So, Spirit led me to start decluttering my life. I utilized the Kamari method and I started with my closet because the whole little process starts with clothes. And I wanted to share the finished product with you guys. Literally, my closet has never looked like this, like in life. Like, I'm literally not kidding. But that also inspired me to declutter the rest of my life. And as I cleaned, I got so many spiritual epiphanies. It started a whole little purge. I cried and things, a lot of releasing going on, but I feel so much lighter. And I just wanted to inspire you guys to take that into consideration as we're going into the retrograde. It's a great time to clear out your life, get a jump start on your spring cleaning, and it's also an explanation for why you're only going to see my hands this month, because the rest of my house is a total mess. I love you. On to your March reading.
Energy. Hello there, sassy Saggy. Is that weird? Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Welcome to your March reading. I hope it didn't make you feel uncomfortable. You know, because you're a sassy okay, I'm going to stop being corny. So anyway, welcome to your March reading. So we're doing things a tad bit different. So I'm just going to do a quick run through of the spread just to give you guys an idea of what we're doing here. Because, you know, we're going into the retrograde in Pisces. Probably going to be a whole bunch of emotions and all that good stuff coming up. So I just wanted to give you guys like a central focus to look at going into this retrograde of what you guys may be dealing with energy-wise, right? So first and foremost, we're going to be looking at our overall energy, which consists of the main source of your unhappiness or discontent for this month or this retrograde period. Then we're going to be looking at a main challenge to overcome this month as well as throughout the retrograde period. Then we're going to be looking at 3 areas of release for your physical well-being, your emotional well-being, as well as your spiritual well-being. And I'm also going to show you how to do it, or the cards will, something along those lines. But with what it is you guys are releasing, the last section is speaking in reference to what it is that you're making room for, right? So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. I won't waste your time, babe. So the main thing that is in relation to your main source of discontent for this month in this retrograde period, or your main source of unhappiness, unrest, you know, rustle your feathers, what have you, is the 8 of Swords in reverse. So I can tell you now, the main challenge, well, I'm not going to say challenge, but the main source of your, you know, unrest or, you know, unhappiness, what have you, whatever word you want to use, whatever adjective is best for you, is going to be rooted in coming out of your head. I love how these run together, but I kind of touched on this with the Cancer read, you know, and what I feel is it's more or less either unhappiness being interrelated with stepping into a heart space. And of course, you know, with the retrograde being in Pisces, it's taking us backwards to look over things we may not be too fond of dealing with. But I feel like it's almost like, okay, I guess this is the best way to put it. The emotions that you guys are going to be dealing with, because I look at the 8 of Swords as in reverse as dropping into your heart space, you know, with the whole water walkway out, so dropping into your emotions. But I feel like the emotions that are going to be causing discontent this month in this retrograde isn't necessarily going to be present. It's going to be experiencing past emotions that you never allowed yourself to express. So more or less like a purging period, right? Because if you look at this in the upright, it's like compassion fatigue in a sense. It's being completely overwhelmed, overexerting yourself. And it's being tuckered out because there's a lack of balance. So it's utilizing a lot of mental energy, right? But the fact that there's no reprieve from an emotional space, it just like completely sucks you dry. So anything that you guys are feeling that's kind of uncomfortable, I really feel like that's past tense emotions that are coming up presently because they, you know, haven't been released. Now, the challenge with all of this, I want to give you a hug. The 3 of Swords. The challenge in all of this is going to be allowing yourself to grieve. Because whatever this is for you guys, Sagittarius, oh man. Whatever this, I mean, I'm saying oh man, but that's just, you know, the empath in me. It's not anything to really be sad about, but it's just that I feel like you guys, you never gave yourself the opportunity to really just be sad. to really just grieve, to really cry it out, you know? It's almost as if you guys went through some sense of wounding, and I feel like going into your head space was like a defense mechanism almost. So it's like that's how you're it's like going into survival mode almost. And that's how you guys have survived up until this point. But the whole key is here. I say it's like the troll at the bridge, you know? Going forward into this energy is very much like the Fool energy, you know, hashtag Erica Badu pack light. You know, you can't take any baggage from this past cycle into the new one. Because it's like the only thing that's going to be able to fit is just you, like your person, you know? So during this retrograde period, I feel like it's going to be a lot of things. Like it could be triggers. It could be, you know, old things like, you know, stories you've probably told 1,000 times, but there was one key factor in it that you totally forgot about, you know? And maybe talking about someone, not about someone, but I mean, talking to someone about something you experienced, and that's somehow triggering like a memory you forgot about, you know, and it may make you feel some type of way. But the whole thing is, this is, in essence, the short version of this is it's a purging process. So the challenge is really going to be allowing yourself to heal and not allowing yourself to get stuck there. Because in the traditional Rider-Waite, you know, it's the heart with the swords in it, and the after tarot, it's like the swords are taken out. It's really taking the swords out and allowing yourself to heal, right? But a huge part of that process is acknowledgement and accepting, like, yes, that did hurt me. It felt like crap. And if you need to cry for like a whole day, you know, a weekend, whatever, do it, you know, because it's releasing that energy. Because you guys always know that I say that emotions are energy in motion. If you're repressing them and holding them down, that energy has weight and it has to go somewhere. So you're holding it inside of you. Crying, even if you don't ugly cry, if you just listen tears come out, that's a purging process. So be gentle with yourselves and allow yourself to do that this month in this retrograde. Now, we're going to look at what you would want to release for your physical well-being. Ooh, 5 of Swords, one-upmanship. This is interesting. Sometimes when you win, you lose, you know? This to me, again, another sword card, fire sign. It's a head energy. It's almost like putting yourself in a position of win-win situations, not necessarily to the detriment of other people, but it's more or less like an overachieving type of energy, right? And all of that to me is a diversion tactic away from having to deal with feelings. Or even another thing that I'm hearing is, you know, I reject them before they reject me, you know? It's like I hurt them before they hurt me, but not really seeing how sometimes when you win, you lose. You know what I mean? So even if that's manifesting as, because I mean, I really feel this is like a competitive spirit, but not really so much in the sense of like straight on competition, because it could be a battle of wills, you know what I'm saying? Or needing to exert your dominance, so to speak. But the whole thing to however this is manifesting in your life is needing to take note of this energy of how it is, you know, that I'm going to get you before you get me type of deal. So for your physical well-being, meaning like in your family relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, what have you, it's kind of getting comfortable with speaking to people from more of an emotional space as opposed to winning intellectual battles, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's a defense mechanism. Because even if it's like a single person, right? Like if it's, because if this is in a relationship, it would more or less be showing up like needing to have like the last word, you know? Or over talking a person to win an argument, you know? And all of that being, because I'm seeing it like a wall that's being built up, and that wall is being built up to keep the person safe. But I'm also seeing it in the aspect of like, say if it's a single person in relation to, you know, friends or coworkers or whatever, it's like, how can I say this? It's needing, like, I guess the easiest way I could say it is making sure everyone knows you're number one. You know what I'm saying? Like, or dominating conversations and stuff. But how I'm trying to explain this is, I don't feel like the person is doing this out of necessarily malicious intent. It's almost like a nervousness type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the person will dominate the conversation to prevent anyone from ever asking probing questions. And I'm thinking of one of my counseling books right now. Do I have it? Dagnabbit, I think it's at the bottom of this bookshelf. The book is called Outgrowing the Pain. And it talks about childhood wounding. And it kind of shows you how different wounds that we experience as children, how those, and I talked about this with Cancer as well. Man, my everything is like all over the place. But it, I'm trying to see if I see it, y'all. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so I'm so sorry, Sagittarius. But this is the book. My copy looks really bad. But they have this at Barnes and Nobles, and I'm pretty sure they have it on Amazon. That's the author. So you might want to grab this book. But it's making me think about something specifically they talked about in this book, where it's a person who dominates conversations to prevent people from ever really getting close. You know? Yes, this is it. Okay. Adults abused as children seek to regain power in many ways. One way is by intellectualizing, trying to impress others by using words that no one understands or appearing to know all of the answers. When you talk all the time, you probably fear that if you stop, someone may say something you don't want to hear, or if you stop talking, the other person will leave. You might also talk nonstop to cover the anxiety you feel when you are with others. Both intellectualizing and talking too much are ways to exert power or feel in control. They can also create distance between you and others. If this happens, the over-talking is not working for you, since your goal is to become more connected to people. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I had to read that because that perfectly describes what it is that I'm seeing in this card. So it's the one-upmanship, but it's not in a narcissistic way trying to exert your, will over other people and have people worship your grandiosity of self. It's rooted in a low self-worth, and it's an attempt to connect with people, but it's not realizing how it's driving people away. Okay. Now, how this is released, we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, how I'm seeing this, how you release that is more or less, and reminding me of Cancer a little bit, not sowing seeds into that garden anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is an attempt to connect, but we're identifying right now that this is maladaptive because it's not bringing people closer, it's driving people away. So I'm not going to sow seeds into that garden anymore, meaning I'm not going to, what is it that Albert Einstein said? Doing the same thing and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity, right? It's like, we've tried this, we've done this, we're seeing that this isn't working for us. So it's like identifying it and making the decision to no longer sow seeds in this garden because we don't want this fruit, right? So it's more or less becoming more comfortable with whatever the root of those emotions are that has us here. So this is like perfect thing because it is intellectualizing. It's connecting with people or trying to connect with people in an intellectual, very heady, communicative kind of way. And the way that you make true connection with people is through emotions. That's how we really truly feel each other, or say that we can, or that saying that we resonate with someone. I might edit out that part where I'm looking through the book so I can make myself look like I just did it like that. Anyway, so what to release for your emotional well-being? We have the Hierophant in reverse. Man. So we can look at this 2 ways. We can look at this as an unteachable spirit, right? Because that's how I look at the Hierophant in reverse in this card, like not being teachable. Feeling as if I know it all, I'm here to educate the world, Can't nobody tell me nothing. I know that already. And that's something that happens sometimes. You know, I have, I'm not going to say friends. Well, not saying that I don't have friends. But I have some like associates like that. Like, you know, person will come and ask me for advice on something. And y'all know how I am with advice giving. Hence the reason why I just spent several minutes searching for a book to read a page that Spirit showed me to you. But it's like, you know, if a person comes to you for advice and you give them advice and they're like, I tried that already. I know that already. Oh yeah, I knew that. I tried that. Well, yeah, that didn't work. And it's like, why did you call me? Or if we look at this in like a work type of way, right? It's more or less when I was working as an advertising consultant, right? And a marketing consultant. And, you know, a company would hire me. I do my assessment. I let them know what it is that's wrong. And they're like, oh, no, we don't want to do that. And da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, why did you hire me? Like, do you want help or not? You know what I'm saying? So it's more or less this thing. And I feel like that, again, is rooted in pride. It's the fear. It's like an inherent feeling of like worthlessness or not good enough that's kind of, you know, pinged in there somewhere. And it's being the know-it-all because it's the fear of not knowing. So, but it's like this is kind of holding you back because it's more or less like lessons that could be learned or wisdom that could be given. But because of faking the funk or feeling as if or allowing oneself to believe that they know it all, you know what I'm saying, is preventing the healing. So, okay, just to put this all together, this would more or less be like my main issue in my life right now as a Sagittarius person is me intellectualizing things because it's wounds, emotions, pain, and I've told myself that, oh, I'm over that. That doesn't bother me. Like I'm healed, whatever, right? My challenge is admitting to myself that I never healed. I just intellectualized my pain. The sign of me intellectualizing this pain and not really processing it is in the fact that I'm showing up like this. You know, it's always the positive, the great stuff going on in my life, making lots of money. I'm doing this, like all of these great things. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, right? So that's symptom number one. Symptom number two is no one can tell you anything. Oh, I know that already. Oh, no, I'm healed. I'm good. No, I'm not going through that. Like, oh, yeah, you know, I've been there, past tense. Like, oh, yeah, I remember when I was wounded. You know what I'm saying? And it's hurting the self. It's a form of self-sabotage. Because I get it. I totally understand it. So I want to say, because this is very heavy, Saggy, I don't want you guys to feel in any way, shape, or form that you're being attacked or anything, because you're totally not. But it's like, I feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had because I know the desperation of that feeling of wanting to be okay. It's like, I don't want to cry anymore. I don't want to be sad anymore. It's like, can we just be okay? Can we just move on? Can we just go on to the next thing? Like, I'm good. I'm Gucci. Like, I'm fine. Stop talking about it. That kind of energy. But the thing is that for where you're going, you don't want this following you into this next cycle, you know, because this can inadvertently undo everything it is you guys are about to walk into. And it's because the foundation that you're standing on is pseudo strength. It's not real strength, you know. So anywho, how that can be released, this little unteachable spirit we got going on here. We got the Three of Cups in reverse, right? Shut the party down. I feel like Three of Cups in the upright is usually how you're showing up. Very jovial, excited, celebrations, fun, let's go out, let's go do this, let's celebrate. Being a very positive figure, you know, lifting everyone else's spirits, being the support system, you know what I mean? The strong friend in so many words. The emotional support for a lot of people. But the key is, in the reverse, grieving. There is no celebration, you know? And this may sound kind of cray, but it's the reason why we even have funerals. You know what I mean? When we have funerals for people who have transitioned, they're alive. They've come to life. You know what I mean? They're more alive than we are. But the funeral service isn't for the person who's passed, it's for the family. It's an act of closure. It's a ritual that's done for us to begin that process of grieving, or giving us an opportunity to say our goodbyes. And I feel like, and it's funny because I actually had a vision about this. I was like thinking with, different women I work with, when it comes to like releasing someone that you're dating, I was like, I need to do like a funeral ritual where you can take a box and put everything that reminds you of this person in it. And you can actually dig a hole in the ground, have a funeral, say a prayer, sing a little hymn, and bury that box and literally have a funeral. Just as an act of releasing, as letting go, right? And I feel like, not in the sense of having a pity party, but I feel for your own emotional well-being. Even if you do this in private, not in front of anyone, you need to allow yourself to not be okay. Because it's okay to not be okay. You know what I mean? I told that to my Pisces bestie. I'm like, just fall apart, man. Ugly cry. Let it all out. Let it all hang out. Allow yourself to not have to try to force a positive aspect when it comes to your emotions. It's by admitting, like, I don't know everything, and everything isn't positive. Not every single facet of life, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Like the colloquialisms and stuff that we use, like, all things work together for the good. Sometimes that doesn't work. It's not to say that it isn't real or it isn't truth, but when a person is in the midst of hurting, kind words, colloquialisms, and quotes just don't do the job, So I want to drive home, it's okay to not be okay, right? Now, what to release for our spiritual well-being? We have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And this is reminding, I don't remember who that was. Was that Libra? I think it was Libra. But it's more or less like this idealization, this picturesque facade of balance. You know what I'm saying? More or less, because, this is like material, abundance, like, financial abundance, material abundance, emotional abundance. So it's like, having the whole package, the happy little family, the house with the dog and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if this is in reference to a relationship, right? Or even wounds that are related to your parental relationships. The fact that you didn't have that stability or that foundation or the happy home that you wanted, or even if this is byproduct of divorce, the family isn't so happy, or the fact that a family fell apart, or losing someone, it doesn't matter. But there's a need to release the burden that this has on you. And again, releasing it in the sense of like not letting go through like not acknowledging it. But I feel like this is really the energy that's being intellectualized. It's releasing the fact that this didn't happen the way that you wanted it to. Things did not pan out the way that you expected. I think this was the ideal. And either it turned out to not be that, or right now it isn't that. And that is also okay. But you running away from that truth, it isn't serving you. Because this is like denial. This is what it is, but I'm saying it's this. Everything is fine. We're good. I'm happy. Everything's great. People are like, oh, you don't seem like yourself. Oh, no, everything's fine. Like, oh, I know that. I tried that. We did that. No. That's not the issue. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm over it. But I feel like you're not. And again, I want to keep stressing that's okay. How to release this? Tower. Fall apart. Allow yourself to fall apart. And the thing that Spirit is showing me with this, like how she's covered in red, whatever this was that broke your heart, that shocked you, that turned your world upside down, that moment that you heard or saw what it was, like the moment that it became very clear to you that this wasn't upright and it was reversed, I want you to go back to that stinging feeling you felt when that first sword went into your heart. Because I feel like you froze that there. The moment that you felt that sting, you froze it. And you went straight out of your heart and into your head. Right? That, we need to go back to that place. And whatever plays out from there, plays out from there. It's not about staying there. It's not about building a memorial to it. You know, here once stood the tower of my life. Not doing that. It's just going back there so you can finish your business there. Scream, cry, you know, flip a table, whatever you got to do. But let the tower fall. Because this is now standing as a monument, you know, a dead, hollow monument to a life that's no longer intended to belong to you, and it's holding you back. It's preventing you from having meaningful connections, you know, from fully healing, from living your best life. To be able to come to people this way with true joy and not from a headspace, you know. It's you taking everything that you've been through and being able to help another person to get out of what you got out of, right? And all of this is making the decision to not sow those seeds. Get that book and allow yourself to grieve. And that book is a really quick read. I feel like that book is going to help substantial. I think that's why it was so imperative that I grabbed it, because that's probably one of the best like therapeutic books that I own, because it's the fact that it's short, sweet, to the point, and it's very practical application. It's like, here's the problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution. So that would be a good book. Anywho, so we're doing all of this to make room for the Seven of Chalices. Options. I like how this card shows up in this deck, right? Because it's not really so much about it being in a stagnation, like in a fog where you're looking at things that are unreal. It's like she's daydreaming about all of her career options because she knows that the world is her oyster and it's possible for her to be whatever it is that she wants. So it's more or less weighing options from a true place. So I'm seeing this not just as career options, but I'm seeing this as options in your life. It's more or less because you've like resigned yourself to this and restrained yourself, like constricted yourself. It's like you have a limited range of expression or connection with people and things. It's limited your outlook, right? But it's like once you release this, it's opening you up to what life can be in a really amazing way. It's you being able to see that whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is that you want, whoever it is you want to be, however it is you want to show up, however many friends you want, whatever the case may be, whatever your ideal is, it's opening you up to options. Because right now I feel like it's very limited, and I think that's why, you know, being in this space of just overwhelm and stagnation, because this isn't feeding your soul. And I feel like you need your soul to be fed, you know? Now, how we make room for this? We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And I see this card, you know, it's a teamwork card, the cooperation card, you know what I'm saying? Like being the supportive cheerleader person, you know? In the reverse, just being me. Solo dolo. What do I want? What's best for me? What makes my heart smile? Because I have options. I don't have to limit myself. I don't have to stagnate myself. You know? And then again, this is a Cups card. Right? It's opening up your heart to the myriad of options and opportunities that are awarded to you. Right? It's making Saggy a priority. Saggy's dreams a priority. What does Saggy want? That's what you're opening yourself up for. Creating the life that you desire. Not getting in where you fit in and settling for less. You know? not being a slave to should, oughts, and supposed tos, not having to pretend to be okay, not having to keep up a facade, none of those things. If you need time to think, I don't care. You could be old and want to change your whole career. That's okay. But I feel like any options that are available to you, or could potentially be, they aren't, because one is limited by a prison of one's own making, of expectations, you know, of being more concerned about how I'm manifesting outside as opposed to how I truly feel inside. Are you really happy? You know? So it's wonderful that you're a team player. It's wonderful that you want to be there for your friends and be supportive. Those are all extremely amazing qualities, and not qualities that I want you to let go of. But right now, it's time for you to be your own cheerleader, your own support system, your own shoulder to cry on, because you deserve that, right? We got 3 cards that fell out for you guys. We have Snow Leopard. Take some time out of your usual life and spend it in solitude. What I said. Dang, okay. Dang, who am I talking to? They got 3 cards that are coming out. Next, take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving. Ooh, Spirit is on it tonight. Condor. You're too enmeshed in this situation, so step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking action. Y'all are retrograding with the retrograde. You know what I'm saying? Dude. It's like blinders being removed, scales removed from your eyes. First card, Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. Spirit led. Just say yes. All you gotta do is say yes. Sorry, had to throw that in there. Just say yes. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to you. Next, Lemuria. Creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Yes, that is exactly what's going on. I feel Sagittarius are being led to reattune with your emotional space, which is your inner heaven, right? Not faking the funk, not holding on to a little toppled 10 of Pentacles, but you manifesting the real thing, not the illusion thereof, not a facade, none of that. The real thing. Connecting with people from an authentic space. Doing things that are authentic to who you are in every sense of the word. And I feel like you guys deserve that, because that's the feeling to me that is kind of overshadowing everything else. It's like my concern is in the fact that I need you to know that you deserve that. You deserve to have your inner world match what it is that you're presenting into the outer world. It's a disservice to yourself to present an exterior facade. And that's similar to what I mentioned with Virgo. It's a disservice to yourself to project a happy, peaceful, motivated person and then behind that be falling apart. That's so not fair to you. You deserve to be what it is you're projecting. And it's possible. Okay, Saggy? Spirit, can I get 1 spiritual wisdom card? Thank you. There we go. You must first see yourself as worthy before you can see another as worthy. You must first see yourself as blessed before you can see another as blessed. You must first know yourself to be holy before you can acknowledge holiness in another. Whoa. That's why I love these cards, man. So true. So true. And that word. Your world. You deserve for your world to be exactly what you are. Because I feel like you've created this for other people. I feel like you've created heaven for other people outside of yourself. And I feel like it's about time that you deserve to manifest that into your own reality. Use those wonderful skills you have to pour back into yourself, because you deserve it. But that has been your reading, my wonderful Saggies. I love your freaking faces, and I will see you guys sooner than later. Deuces.
Energy, about to get in and fuck up the industry.